Hi everybody, my name's Jordan and I'm the owner of Crossbow Printables, which sells planner inserts and planner accessories. And I just wanted to show you my personal planner setup because I've already done a video for my A5 work productivity planner. So if you haven't seen that, I'll put a link below if you wanted to check it out. So going straight on in, you'll see that like my A5 planner, I'm very much all about minimal design, maximum productivity. So this planner is set up to be exactly that. It's very task oriented. I don't really craft in my planner, so it's more about efficiency for me. And in the front here, I've just got a few essentials. I've got a few task stickers. I don't use stickers a lot, but I think they're really useful for highlighting certain events. And I've cut these down from the full size sheet, which is kind of just a bit too big for a personal planner. So I've put these in the front, and I also have a few clips in case I need to highlight important dates or pages. And then finally just a few little business cards which I include in my orders. So my dashboard is very simple. It's very similar actually to my A5 planner, where I've got a translucent quote page in the front because I like the motivation and I like the minimalism of it. And then I have my gold foil dividers. So I've used my gold foil dividers that are pre-labelled here. And the labels are very vague, so you'll see from my planner that they might not be used for exactly what is said on there, but they're vague enough that it kind of works anyway. So behind my schedule divider, I've got a birthdays reference page. This is one of the simplest pages ever, and yet I find it so useful because I have the worst memory. And this planner is basically all about helping me remember things because I genuinely can't remember something that someone's told me yesterday. So this page is so helpful for me for referencing at the beginning of the month, so I know who to buy birthday presents for. And then I have an at a glance page, which I mainly use for keeping track of my car dates and not much else because, like I said, I've got a terrible memory and I would completely miss those if not. So then I use the monthly dividers behind the schedule section, and I've got how many months? 9 months here, but I actually kind of keep a diary in. These are empty. I keep a diary for about 6 months at a time so that I'm not taking up too much space in my planner. So we're in July at the moment, and each month starts with a quote page. So this month says, "Do you know how amazing you really are?" Just lots of motivational quotes at the beginning of the month to help you just take a second and reflect on some positive thoughts. So each month starts with a little make or break habit tracker. Right now I'm trying very hard to look after the plants that my lovely grandpa gave us for our new house, so that's a reminder to water the plants and to do some daily reading. So what I have at the top here is a brass tab, so that when I'm at the front of the planner and someone's asking, "Are you free on this date to do so and so?" I can just flick straight over to the month. And this is where I kind of schedule my dates and plans for the month. And then as well, there's a goals section and to-do section over here, which I like to use for remembering tasks that I need to do that are home related. So for example, I need to apply for a passport, we're hoping to finish our house renovations this month, etc. So this is a really handy go-to page for me. And then what I use the weekly pages for are I also put those tasks in so that I can see in the week what's coming up. But I also like to use it for reminding myself about things. So sometimes I'll use a highlighter just to make little boxes. If I don't have a highlighter around, I'll make tiny little circles and just tick things. But I kind of use it as a home to-do list / diary. And you'll see that I'm not at all a neat planner, and I'm so jealous of everyone who has got like beautiful writing and makes everything look really nice, because unfortunately that's not me. But I'll take tips from a lot of you, and keep an eye out on Instagram so I can see how to get better. So you'll see that the little stickers, like I said, I kind of just use them to highlight important dates. So Father's Day, this day I'm in London, and it just helps me remember that there's something important coming up. Oh, and one other thing is the monthly goals that I've put on these pages here, or tasks. I might transfer those to the weekly goals here. along with other important things that I need to remember. So that is the weekly pages, and at the end of each month there's a monthly review page, which you'll see I filled mine out for May. They're just a really nice time to force yourself to sit down and reflect and not just rush on with the year. The next section is titled Daily, and I actually use this for like daily meal planning and health planning, because I don't use daily inserts. I kind of tend to do that in my work planner. So at the beginning of my meal planning section, I've just got a list page which I write go-to meals on. So when I'm planning out meals for the week, I've just got a list and I can just add meals from there so that I don't really have to give much thought to it, along with other ones that I might want to try. So then I transfer this, I do a weekly meal planner every week, and then I actually have a shopping list app on my phone because I find that's easier to get out at the supermarket. But what I do is the items that I wouldn't usually buy every week, I put them on here so that I know to put them on my phone after I've planned out all the meals. So I have these set up for a few weeks. And then the next section I have is the health planner. I've just separated it again with a transparent flyleaf. And this page is exactly what I need to keep me in check with healthy eating and exercise. Now, I have to admit that over the last 6 months we have bought a house and got married and been renovating the house. So I've not been great at using these, but I'm excited to start using them again now that things are settling down a little bit. So just to run you through how these work. So each day there's a space to write in what you've eaten, and I actually use this as a diary rather than as a planner. So I will write down what I ate for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, rather than planning out what I ate for those kind of things. Because for me, these health planners are a great way to keep track of what makes me feel good and what makes me feel bad. And as well, it gives you space to write in your exercise plans for the week so that you can I actually plan those in advance so that it keeps me kind of accountable a little bit for exercising. There's also space for tracking your water intake, and then at the end of the week you can write down how you did and how you feel in next week's goal. So for me, this is a great way of finding out what kind of foods make me feel good, what kind of exercise makes me feel good, and as well I actually use this bar at the top to kind of keep track of how much fruit and veg I'm eating, so I'll just do like a tally to make sure that I'm keeping in good health. So the next section is the goal planner section, which I do actually use for personal goals. And in here I have the full planner pack that I sell in my shop. It's a complete kind of goal breakdown pack. I've actually taken out my pre-filled out version and swapped it out with a blank one just to kind of keep a few things private. But how it works is you set the goals for the year, and then very much like my work planner, you break them down into quarterly goals, and then there's a quarterly review each month, and then that runs throughout the whole year. And then at the end there's some goal breakdowns, so that if you want to plan something very specifically, then you can write out action steps of what you need to do and just a strategy of how you're going to achieve it. And there's a few of those in there as well, so that you can just get everything done. So an example of how this works might be if you've got a saving goal for the year. So let's say you want to save I don't know, £8,000 this year. You'd write that in there, and then each quarter you'd say, oh, I'm going to save £2,000 this quarter. And then at the end you can review how you did, and you might want to use the action steps for, save a certain amount each week, etc, etc. So that's how I use those pages. I keep them very separate to my work goals, which are completely different. My work goals are completely work related and task oriented. These are very personal ones that I have in this planner. The next section is the all-important list section. So this is just where anything that needs a list, I'm going to put it in this section. So sometimes if a day is really busy, I might use a list to make sure I get everything done that day, or shopping lists, or Christmas gift lists. This is really handy for you. We all know how important a good list can be, and this is my section I put to for that. So the next section is the personal section, which I use for budgeting and for bill payments. So I actually do the bulk of my budget planning online because I like how it can give you percentage breakdowns and whatnot. So I'm not actually a huge paper planner when it comes to bills, but what I do use the bill payments for is as reference pages so that I know when certain payments are coming out, because you know, some are quarterly, some are yearly, and I just want to keep, like I said, I've got a really bad memory, so it's really helpful for me to be able to visually see the date that things are coming out. So what I do is I'll just write down the general date that certain payments are coming out, along with dates in the coming year that certain payments are coming out. So that's really helpful for me to use. And then I also have some monthly budget pages in here. So again, because I do a lot of mine online, I don't use these in the traditional sense, but what they are great for is if you're planning a project or a holiday. So for example, if I had a budget for a holiday, I could put it in here and then just track all the expenses that will be going towards that specific event. So that's how I use the finance section in my planner. Finally is the miscellaneous section at the back, which is my note-taking and brain dump sort of area for the planner. So like I said, we got married at the beginning of this year, so I did a heck of a lot of planning in here for that. Lots of scribbles, lots of crazy lists, and then some plain ones at the back for whenever I need them. So that is everything, and just thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I'd love to hear of how you guys plan or any comments you have. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And I'll put all the links to the inserts and accessories and stuff in the description of this video. Thank you guys.